Hello guys, welcome to episode 5 of Two Men One Beard. I'm your host today, JB, and my co-host
Mono.
How are you today, Mono?
Yeah, I'm quite tired. It's a Friday, so I've finished a whole week of work, and but yeah, I'm excited to be here. To be fair,
are you in a laughing mood?
Yes. Just to explain, we done a few takes because I couldn't stop laughing. We're gonna save up all the outtakes we've done so far and put them into a little clip.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Yeah. Just to let you know, guys, we will be no longer doing the shoe reviews. We have taken some of your feedback, and we also believe that it's probably better to have the shoe review in a video format.
Yes.
So the viewers will be able to see the shoe.
And to interject, to explain the video format, because obviously in the last 4 episodes we were mentioning about a video. What happened was obviously because it was so hot and the camera kept overheating. I tried to edit and it just became an impossible task. I'm not as good at editing as I used to be.
Yeah, because someone wanted to film in 4K in 60 frames per second.
It was 30 frames per second, but to be fair, it was a camera's fault, not mine. If you're gonna advertise up to 8K shooting capability, at least be able to do it on a hot day. But yeah, anyway, back to you, JB.
Yep. So I think we should first cover our first topic for today.
Yes.
And that is haircuts.
Haircut, lovely.
Yeah. So as you probably may know, we have a Instagram, and we have posted our first picture there.
Yeah, like a little selfie we did.
Yeah, and it was our very janked setup of our first few episodes, and as you could probably see there, we have had a haircut recently.
Yeah, probably for me it might be hard to tell, but I have my hair a bit thinner around the sides and allow my hair to slick back to cover it. So it's probably hard to tell in that picture, but yeah.
So which celebrity are you trying to copy?
Well, the haircut style came from because I never know what to say when I go to a barber. I don't like the whole numbers and stuff because I don't know, I'm not into that. So I watched, what was that film called? It was called The Gentleman.
Harry Potter? Voldemort? Is that what you wanted?
Oh, Voldemort. If I had his hair, I would probably die. But The Gentleman, which is that Guy Ritchie film where they all have weird Cockney haircuts and stuff, and Charlie Hunnam's hair, well, I thought that was pretty cool. So I said to the barber, yo, this is Charlie Hunnam in The Gentleman. Give me that. And he was like, yeah, come, let's go.
Is that your main inspiration?
I wouldn't say he's an inspiration. I would say the haircut's an inspiration. But yeah, that's what I've been going to the barber to do now. I was just show him a picture of Charlie Hunnam, and they're like, yeah, cool.
Yeah. For me, it's just I have a really basic boy haircut. It's just one on the side and long on top. That's pretty much all I asked. So I tried. Yep.
I was just going to say, because obviously I don't go to barbers and say numbers anymore.
Yeah.
So a 1, is that the closest to bald without being 0?
Yeah, but then nowadays you can get like 0.5. You can ask for 0.5.
Yeah. And what is a skin fade?
What is a skin fade?
Yeah. Like, I know a lot of people, whenever I'm in a barber shop, someone says skin fade. And they charge, I swear they charge extra.
More. It's more, yeah. I think skin fade is pretty much just 0. And they even use a razor. Because I've tried it. So there was a period where I was experimenting with my hair. But there was one haircut that my barber couldn't really do. I showed him a picture because I couldn't really describe it because all I saw was it was pretty much just an Instagram picture of a haircut.
Yeah.
But the outcome was not as wasn't even close.
So it's like when you get those ready meals where it has a really good picture of a dinner, and then when you actually get it, it's terrible.
It's horrible, yeah. Iceland.
So what did you want to speak about hair then? Why hair?
Because as I've had a variety of hair, hairstyles. Sorry.
Oh no, I've seen a few.
Yeah. Once upon a time, I did have a mohawk.
Yeah.
I funnily enough, actually, the story behind that mohawk is that so my dad would always, when I was younger, would regularly give us haircuts, me and my brothers. However, my dad's haircuts were never good. It was literally whatever you ask him, he'll give you the same haircut, and it's not good. It's never faded, so it was literally the sides would be, let's say, 1, and the top would be like 6.
Yeah.
And when you have 6 on top, you look like you'll have like do you know from Street Fighter? Do you know Guile? You know
No, I'm afraid not. No.
He's so basically he's like an army character. Like,
Yeah.
from the army. So he has like a flat top.
Yeah, I might have a quick Google.
Yeah. Yeah, he has a flat top, and nobody wants a flat top. Like to me, it's just it's very out there, I would say.
Guile. Guile. How do I spell Guile?
Guile. Street Fighter.
Okay, Street
Yeah.
Fighter.
So I didn't like that hair, so I decided, what else can I have? How can I I guess save my hair? And I just thought, you know what, just get me a mohawk.
Yeah.
So I actually told my brother, I was like, just cut the sides off and easy mohawk. And to be honest, I've never gone back to that haircut, because I think you need this. I don't know. It just wasn't really. It was okay. I mean, you were standing out, but I'm not really that type of person to stand out.
Yeah, I remember it because it was in school, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
It was about year 9. I think.
Wow, you remember?
Yeah, because I mainly remember it because when we went to the school trip to Fort Park, you had it, and your hair obviously at one point, at the one point where the mohawk was so long that the sword ride, the water hit it.
Yeah, I remember.
Because it wasn't supposed to hit our hair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember it from that. I didn't think it was that bad, but from what I remember, I can't actually picture your mohawk. But I didn't mind it too much. I didn't care what anyone else thought.
The good thing about it, I was over 6 foot.
Are you over 6 foot now?
I wish.
Depends what shoe you wear, right?
Yeah.
So I remember your mohawk. I've actually had. I don't know if it's wilder or not. I don't know if it's wilder than the mohawk, but I'm gonna go back. I can see your face. You think you know what it is. You don't know what it is, because this is way before we met.
Okay.
So I'm going to go back to when I was in primary school, and I was living in a different part of Oxford, which had, I think back then barbershops weren't as big as they are now. Every street corner has a barbershop now.
Yeah, definitely.
So I remember I used to go to this one that was popular in Oxford, but it was quite expensive. I'm not going to name names, but they're basically somewhere near where I live now. But I remember one day we were driving, well, my mum was driving, and we saw some kids coming out of a barbershop just at the bottom of the hill, essentially, where I lived. And they had patterns in their hair, like Nike ticks and stuff. So I was like,
those days, right?
I was like, let me have a go. Surprisingly, my mum was actually into it. She was probably more excited for me to get it. That's what I remember. Was that she was actually agreeing that I would get one. So, come a weekend, obviously it's a really busy day at any barbershop on a weekend. We go into there. It's right next to a car garage. I don't know if it's going to bring wherever you. I don't know if it's going to explain to you where it is. I haven't said where it is, but it might explain to you where it is. So it's next to a car garage. That's quite a popular car garage in Oxford. And it's this little shop. I don't think it's around anymore. And there was one barber in there, right?
Right.
Only one. I'm not even sure if I can't really remember, but I'm not sure if there's enough space for a second one.
Okay.
And it was packed. So I think there was at least 4 people in front of me. If there's one barber and there's 4 people in front of you in a barbershop, how long do you think it would take for you to get there?
Like 3 hours.
So I'm going to say that this is 2004.
Right.
Only because of this one thing that I remember from that barbershop.
Right.
Which is there was an illegal bootleg copy of Fantastic Four playing
on TV.
I think it was a TV. It was a small screen, maybe because it was back in 2004. I think I remember it because we got there and the film had just started, but we missed a bit where it must have been a title card. So I was like to my mum, "What's that on TV?" And she's like, "Oh, I think it's like Fabulous Four or something." Obviously, she didn't know what it was. So I remember at that time I think there was a show on TV called Fabulous Four or something like that. So I thought it was that. So I wasn't that interested. And then they went into space and got their powers. So we watched the whole film before I was sat on the barbershop chair. I think the film was at least 90 to 120 minutes. All right. So I get in the chair. Man's like, "Oh, what do you want?" I was like, oh, I want a pattern. I think my mum probably said it actually. She probably like, yeah, this little git wants a pattern.
Yep.
She didn't specify what pattern, and this man was like, all right, he's an artist, and I'm his canvas. So obviously he's doing my hair. I think it was a 2 round the back and side, short on the top. That's what he used to say.
Yep.
And he got into the pattern, and he was doing something long. I was expecting a night tick or something.
Night tick.
So we're all done. It was probably like a 10-minute haircut compared to the 2-hour wait who we had. And I go outside and I'm like to my mom, does it look nice? And she's like, yeah, I don't know what it is. I was like, what do you mean I don't know what it is?
And then...
Because I remember the main thing being a night tick. And
right, okay, yeah.
And so everyone in my family was looking at it, trying to figure out what it was, right? So I was gassed. I was like, oh yes, I've got a cool haircut. Everyone's looking at it, you know.
You got niced up by your barber.
Yeah, and then I remember I hadn't seen it. This is the day before people had easy access to cameras. Phones.
Okay.
So
did you not see it when you were sitting down? Though?
So I can't remember if he did that mirror to the back, right, but even nowadays they do that, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I don't even look. Like I'm just like, yeah, you're not going to be able to do undo. You're not going to undo a button, right?
True.
If it looks crap, I got to go out of it.
But you can tell him. You can tell. Oh, can you just make this?
I'm too awkward with that, man. I don't.
Fair enough.
Like if I have a fight with them now and go back in there, they're going to get rid of all my hair. That's
get you a worse haircut.
Like doctors have an oath, barbers don't. So I think people started to realise it was a monkey. So I don't know if this guy was mocking me or not, right? But it was a monkey, and I was like, I'm not too fussed, you know. Monkey, I like monkeys. So back then, I like monkeys.
Curious George.
Yeah, but I remember I used to have to go to Quran lessons. Obviously, growing up Muslim, I had to go to Quran lessons. I used to go to a family friend's house every Thursday or Friday, I can't remember, and we used to go there and learn the Quran.
Right.
So I'm reading, like, the way it's set out is like a semicircle, me, my brother, and then the family friends. So there's 4 of us, and it's like a semicircle. The guys in front, and I think I laughed at something and leaned forward. The teacher saw it, right? Yeah. And he told me off, saying we're not allowed it. So since that, like from then, I never got a pattern again because I was too scared to go back.
So you weren't allowed to get a haircut.
So apparently we're not allowed to get haircuts like that.
But I think it's very common, though. I think during that time.
But for Muslims, not for like general like people. I think it was for Muslims you weren't allowed it. So I never went back and got one gun again. Even though I thought before I was like, next time I'm gonna get a night tick this time. I'm gonna say I want a night tick this time. No, not a monkey face. I don't know how that guy like. I mean, he's a genius if you put a monkey face on the back of my head. I mean, that's not easy.
But then people, from what it sounded like, people struggle to recognize what it was. So.
Yeah. But I think it might have been because my head isn't as big as it is now.
Okay.
But yeah, that's essentially my weirdest haircut. Because I had a monkey on the back of my head for at least 3 weeks, and I remember every week that I went to the Quran lessons, I was so scared to shave my hair. But to be fair, the teacher wasn't as bad as some other teachers I had, so he was calm about it. But he just said that we're not allowed to do it. But yeah, that's probably the wildest hair. I don't think it's as wild as a mohawk.
Yeah, I think with me, I pretty much just preferred shorter hair. You know, like before in school, I used to have Justin Bieber haircut.
Yeah, I remember.
Like, my hair was a lot longer.
That was classic JB, yeah.
Just because I didn't really like getting haircuts because it was either my dad's bad haircut, or a long hair. And I was just like, why don't I just stick with my long hair? Admittedly, there was sometimes I preferred a shorter hair because I don't know if you ever had this issue where the back of your neck gets poked by your hair. I don't know if you've ever had that. There's a certain hair length where that happens, and I absolutely hate it.
I don't know because I have my hair long now. I don't think like in recent years I've had it longer than this. I don't think that's happened. The worst thing every time when I'm thinking of getting a haircut and something that makes me get a haircut is the fact that the hair, when I'm laying down or trying to go to sleep, will go into my eyes and irritate my eyes. That's the only thing. I don't know about back of neck. Yeah, I don't know about back of neck.
That's a fair point though, because I know my hair's too long if the front of my hair covers my eyes. And I think that's one of my limits to.
Yeah. So anyway, enough about hair because I don't go to the barbers that often. I think I go twice a year. I know you go way more often than I do,
probably
but
once a month.
we generally get the same thing. I know that we're not extravagant with our hair, really, as other people are. I know some people I know. Like one of our friends, he always gets a haircut. I remember even when we were in school, he would get one every week.
Every week? How expensive is that?
But he's one of those people that are more
He's such a man.
I remember I used to go knock for him to play football or something, or go anywhere. We used to get to his house and wait another 20 minutes with his dad, just because he was upstairs gelling his hair.
Gelling?
Yeah.
That's definitely like 2004. Who wears gel nowadays?
I think that was secondary, so that must have been... Is our mutual friend.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that must have been like 2008, 2007. This was at the time when girls were becoming more of a thing for us. So he was obviously... I didn't care about my hair ever. But yeah, he was gelling it up and everything, I remember. But anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to our film segment. So today we're doing a film that me and JB have debated about, not in terms of the quality of the film, but certain individuals in that film. So the film we're talking about is the probably the biggest blockbuster since Endgame. Probably the most anticipated film since Endgame.
Probably one of the most recent Marvel movies that's really good, I would say.
Yeah, because since this one, it's been a bit...
Not like...
Yeah, it's like, what is that? What is this?
I think after Endgame, I think not a lot of Marvel movies were good. And I think this
agree.
one, it's, I would say, on the level of Endgame, I would say. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I wouldn't put it on the level or above Endgame. I think it's close to it. Only because Endgame had almost everything I wanted. We'll talk about Endgame another day, but there is, the reason why I don't like it. There's a certain reason why I don't like Endgame.
I've just realised we actually didn't mention what the movies were.
We're about to do the reveal now. So, the film, obviously, you're probably getting it from what we're saying anyway, is Spider-Man No Way Home. So, Spider-Man No Way Home, as you all know, features Tom Holland as in his third technically solo Spider-Man film. He's obviously been in Civil War and the Infinity War saga and all
Doctor
that.
Strange.
Was he in Doctor Strange?
Was he?
No, he wasn't.
No, Doctor Strange was featured.
Doctor Strange was in this one. There were rumours that Tobey Maguire was coming back, and there were rumours that Andrew Garfield was going to be in Morpheus.
The worst Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield.
Right, we'll get into that in a minute. JB trying to run away, but he's realised I've locked him in the room. So Tom Holland in his third expedition obviously messes up because he wants his friends to go to college. I mean, you're all going to ruin the world just because you want your mates to be in college. Fair play. Messes up, ends up having some enemies from other multiverses join. I don't know if it's Marvel's so convoluted. I don't even know if it's our Earth. I doubt it's our Earth because we don't have superheroes. So we're probably a separate Earth in the Marvel universe that doesn't have superheroes other than me, obviously. But yeah, so essentially it brought back some fan favorites, including Dr. Octopus, Green Goblin.
Yep.
There was Sandman, who barely had a role in it, which I feel a bit sad for.
Electro, is that his name?
I think so, Electro. Jamie Foxx's character. Jamie Foxx is a good actor. I like Jamie Foxx.
Croc. Is it?
No, I think Killer Croc is Batman. I think this one is. I don't know, Dr. Lizard. I don't even know, but yeah, he was. Yeah, so the Lizard Man, reptile thing. I can't remember what he was. I can't remember his name is, and. That's it, is it?
Yeah, that's it.
Which is weird because they basically were either they run out of money or whatever, but they could have had a sixth for Sinister Six essentially, but they didn't. So they probably ran out of money mainly because the two other people that joined the cast. So everybody was hoping that this would happen. Nobody knew for sure, but we were like,
there were a lot of speculations.
Andrew Garfield was so good at shutting interviews down when he was asked about it, that it started to put doubts in people's mind, even though thinking back it's obvious that they were going to do it. So yeah, Tobey Maguire, who played Spider-Man in Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3 from, is it 2001 till, I think I remember watching the third one while I was still in primary, so about 2006, 2007. And he's everyone's childhood essentially from our generation. And then the greatest Spider-Man is obviously Andrew Garfield. Tom Holland? No. Anyway, Andrew Garfield played in the Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 2, which were in, I think, 2012, 2014.
It's not that amazing.
The films, okay. I agree with you to the point. So where the Amazing Spider-Man films weren't that great. I think number one was I watched number one in Malaysia, so there were bits cut out. You know how Asian countries cut out stuff that they don't like. So I remember watching it there. I didn't mind it too much. Obviously, Electro was in it, which was always a good thing. We wanted Electro to be in it. No, he was number 2. Wasn't he? Yeah, number 1 was Lizard. So yeah, don't ignore my comments about Electro. He was in number 2.
To be honest, I can't recall those movies because I don't think I enjoyed them. All I remember is the Gwen Stacy, right?
Yeah.
The Gwen Stacy. That's all I remember because obviously that's the part that everybody was like really shocked.
Yeah,
about.
That was a sad moment, bro. That was a sad moment from the films, mainly because I think that we hadn't seen, obviously in Tobey Maguire films, Mary Jane was kidnapped, I think, every single film and put in life-threatening situations. But you always thought, Toby's going to save her, Toby's going to save her. And then, obviously, we get to the point in this Andrew Garfield one where he does save her, but realises it's far too late. Her back's broken. Right. Have you seen the Lego animation from the game?
No, I've not.
So in the Lego, the web catches her by the torso. She obviously crashes to the floor. The web comes back up, her head falls off, her arm falls off, her legs fall off, and it's literally only the torso that's being lifted up by the web, which is quite savage. Yeah. But yeah, I obviously we watched that together, didn't we? I remember we went with my cousins. I enjoyed No Way Home.
Yep. I will agree with that. I enjoyed it as well.
The one negative thing I have. Well, one of the negative things I have, and I think it's a negative thing in all of Tom Holland's films, is that he is the cause of all the crap in his films. Like he gets into trouble because he can't. It's that typical thing where he's playing a teenager, and apparently teenagers can't make the right decisions, according to Hollywood.
Right. Okay.
So he ends up ruining. In each film, he does something bad, something wrong. That
causes the issue, the main issue.
So the first one, obviously, was that he tried to be a superhero. Even Iron Man was like, nah, man, you got to chill.
Yeah.
So he tried to be a superhero, and a lot of stuff. To be fair, I can't even remember the first one. Who's the bad guy? The bad guy is Michael Keaton, isn't it? As Vulture, is it? Yeah. And he keeps going after him and stuff like. Basically, that one wasn't too bad in terms of the bad decisions, but yeah, he kept doing stuff wrong. Second one, all that rubbish about him giving the sunglasses and being the next Iron Man. I just think it's all your fault, mate. Like Tom.
Yeah, because he's what's his name? Mysterio, right?
Yeah. He gets tricked and everything. I get Mysterio tricked.
But isn't that just isn't that just the plot of the story to show how young Spider-Man is, and that superheroes aren't 100% good because they all have flaws? Isn't that how it's supposed to?
But alright, think about it this way. The first film is showing how naive he is.
Right, okay.
The second film is showing how naive he is.
Yep.
The third film is showing how naive he is. When is he going to grow up?
Well, I mean, never.
But Harry Potter, by the fourth one, matured because he had seen some crap.
I see. So you want some sort of like progression. I understand now, because obviously once you do something wrong, you should learn from it.
Yeah. And I said to Harry Potter from the fourth one, essentially from the first one. Like, at the beginning of the books, by the way, I'm a big Harry Potter fan. He was messing about with Ron a bit. But then when they fought that troll, it was like, oh, nah, man, I need to chill. I need to actually focus and get this bad guy. And he matured. Tom Holland Spider-Man has taken 3 films. He's still not matured. He's living by himself now. His aunt died. He goes to the grave, starts talking to the guy that his aunt used to do stuff with, and then dumped him. I feel so sorry for him. He's living by himself now. No one remembers him. It's because of your mistakes, mate.
True. I mean, he saves the day in the end of the day, so yeah.
Doctor Strange saves the day. He captured Doctor Strange, put him into some random world just because he didn't want people to die. Like, I mean, they're not from your universe. Just give it a rest, mate. But anyway, other than that, I think the film was good. Fan service was brilliant.
Yeah, I think the main thing is it was very nostalgic. I think that's the main factor that I really enjoyed about the movie. There's always a good feel. You always get a good feeling when you see old characters come back.
Yes, of course, yeah.
So, like, imagine for me when I was younger, I would watch obviously the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So to me, if someone says Spider-Man, first thing comes into my mind is Tobey Maguire.
Okay. Yeah.
So, which is actually the best Spider-Man. Actually, I'm sure you will agree.
No, I don't agree. So even when I was a kid, and when the hype around Tobey Maguire was only the hype because he was Spider-Man at that time, I thought he wasn't that great. Like, this is me as a kid, by the way. So I thought he wasn't that great when I was a kid. I liked it. I liked the films. I loved the films. I used to watch them all on VHS. But when Andrew Garfield turned up, his films weren't that great. As Spider-Man, as Peter Parker, he was excellent. He played the role so well, and I just think, you know, it's like he was on another level to Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, I think actor-wise, yes, but movie-wise, I just prefer those movies.
The first 2 Spider-Man movies, yes, the originals.
Yeah.
Not the third one. The third one is probably worse than Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I can't recall the third one.
The third one's Sandman and Venom.
Oh, Venom! No, I like that. I actually like that.
Nah.
I actually like that because you know what, Venom. I always thought it was a very cool. Is he a villain or like an anti-hero?
Anti-hero sort of thing. To me, that wasn't that great. I think Tom Hardy's Venom is better, even though those films aren't amazing. Those films aren't amazing, but his Venom was better than Topher Grace's. Topher Grace, for those of you wondering, is the main character from That 70s Show.
Yeah, that second movie of Venom, though.
Yeah, we went to watch it. We didn't like it. But for me, I've always liked Andrew. He was on Doctor Who. I like Doctor Who. He was on Doctor Who before he was on Spider-Man.
Hacksaw Ridge.
That was after. That was after the Spider-Man films. So I met 2 reasons why I went to watch Hacksaw Ridge. 1, because I liked Andrew Garfield so much in Spider-Man, and 2, it was a war film and I like war films. Okay. But also Andrew Garfield stuck out in a film that he wasn't the main character in, which was The Social Network.
I've never watched that, actually.
For me, he stuck out. Like, Mark Zuckerberg was played by Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg, yeah.
And to me, Andrew Garfield stuck out more than Jesse Eisenberg, who I think is... well, I won't go into too much detail, but I think Jesse Eisenberg is a little bit overrated. But yeah, that's my take on the debate. Tom Holland's not in the question.
Yeah, Tom Holland's not like...
I think he's an alright guy. He's our age, surprisingly. Yeah. And he's got my girl, so...
Actually, the best Spider-Man is Miles Morales from... what's that movie?
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I love that movie. I think it's because my expectations were low on that movie.
Yeah.
I loved it.
So that's the film segment of Spider-Man. Now, I know we said we didn't want to do a film, a shoe review, but you had something in mind for this, didn't you?
Me?
Yeah.
So I think the topic for my I guess shoe review is footwear that is made by really expensive brands like Balenciaga. I'm sure everybody has seen it. Those either those sock looking shoes or those really thick shoes, and I don't know how much they're worth, but they're probably worth how much I earn a month. So yeah, have you seen them, Muno, at all?
Yeah, so I'll tell you the first time I heard about Balenciagas.
Sure.
So I was talking to one of my friends on one of the messaging apps, and they sent a message to me after I said something, and it auto-corrected to Balenciaga.
Right.
And we had no idea what that was, so we started laughing. We Googled it and found out it was some expensive shoes.
Yeah, it's a designer brand.
The first time I actually seen them in flesh was one of my cousins, who's an idiot, worked in a store where
they were selling.
Yeah,
they
and
were stockists.
He got a good discount, but even with a good discount, it was way expensive. And I've never liked them. I just think, what is that? Like, why are people paying that much for a bit of rock?
Yeah.
To me, it looks like something I can find on the street. Like,
I think it's more of just a flex. It's literally it.
Yeah, but it's weird that it doesn't look good, and it pops off. Like, the reason why I'm so confused is because I've never heard of Balenciaga before that day.
Right.
So, to me, obviously Versace and Gucci and all that have been around for years.
You know of it.
Yeah.
But Balenciaga is like out of nowhere. Oh wow! Like
Yeah. So people paying top dollar for that. Like, either their marketing's really good or people are just stupid.
it is their marketing, and it's I think mostly because of their designs. It's always very controversial. And I don't know if you know this, but I think like Kanye West has a line, and anything that says Kanye West nowadays just
Like we reviewed the Yeezys in the first episode.
Exactly.
And they look like weird slugs, I think I called them.
But it's Kanye West, so it's just sells out. But
Yeah,
he
yeah,
has
of course.
such a strong power when it comes to selling things. Like he has that STEM player. It didn't sell out, but he was getting people to buy those.
What's that? The Donda.
Yeah, like
when he released Donda on.
Yeah, the I guess it's like a speaker.
Yeah,
a player,
I remember
music
that, yeah.
player
Yeah.
that had the Donda 2, and people did actually buy this. They weren't cheap.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was always just find it weird how people go for stuff like that.
I would say actually, I've heard of Balenciaga for a long time, but it's just only because of the recent time it's been big. It's I don't know if you heard, but they have I think a $2,000-$3,000 shoe, and it's all wrecked. It's literally like, imagine a Converse that's been through mud, has been burnt, and has like loads of rips, and it literally just has like some Balenciaga text on it, and it's like 3,000, 2,000, and I think there's a certain color that actually did sell out. Think about it, 2,000 to 3,000, and it's selling out. There's a market.
It's crazy.
There's people out there that's buying these
And
things.
is that retail?
Yeah, retail.
So resale is probably a lot more.
No. I don't know, but there's no point reselling a $3,000 shoe.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, the only reason why I'll go for it is if I knew I was going to get 10k
More
back.
money, yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's crazy though. 3k for a shoe. It's always been weird for me with shoes of this thing. I know that some people collect and they don't wear their shoes, but for me, shoes are always something that you put on your feet and it touches the ground, bro.
Is that shots fired at me?
No. It's like, I know there's some people who literally, I remember watching a YouTube video, people selling their shoes to a collector, and they would literally say, oh, they keep it in glass cupboards. And like I see on YouTube videos people have glass cupboards behind them with action figurines and all sorts of stuff in it. I don't mind it too much, but I just find it a bit weird. To be fair, if it's your thing, it's your thing, right?
Yeah.
If you're into that.
I know people, after each wear, they give it a clean.
Yeah, I've never cleaned my shoe.
Yeah, I do clean my shoe, but it's like you can't enjoy wearing a shoe if you care about it too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I have to just wear it. I don't care if it's walking through mud. Like, to me, that's just a shoe. It's your shoe now. It's mine.
Yeah.
What am I going to do?
Yeah, fair enough.
I think a lot of people, what they tend to do is they care about the value of the shoe. That's why they try and keep it as pristine as possible, because they know if at any point they don't want it,
They can
sell it.
get more money for what
exactly.
they pay. Which, there's always been that thing about people buying and then selling.
Yeah.
It's part of the way the world works.
Yeah.
Like, people used to have chickens on their farm and sell the eggs. I mean, it's the same sort of thing, really. Like, you're getting profit from it. It's up to you. If people are going to pay, Like, I understand there's people that can't really afford resale prices, but it's what happens. It's the nature of the game, really.
Cool.
Just linking it back to Spider-Man. So there's one reason why you hate me, right? You hate me for one reason. Do you want to tell them why you hate me for a reason? Was the shoes?
Yeah. So Mono entered for this for a raffle for this shoe, and the shoe was it was a Jordan 1, and as you may know, I believe this was released around the time Into the Spider-Verse was released.
Yeah.
And I think Jordan, as a promo, they released a Spider-Man themed Jordan 1. And Muno had won a pair, but unfortunately he didn't want to collect it. And I told him, I'm happy to pay for you as a gift, because I know you love Spider-Man, you love Marvel movies. But he said, no. And I was like, and now I think that shoe's like 1K. Probably even more with your size. I'm not even sure now.
I think to someone that's into that sort of stuff, it would affect them more than it's affecting me right now. Because I bought PS5 before release for retail. And I didn't resell it when people were selling it for a lot of money.
Yeah. Which you should have.
I'm not really fussed with all of that. The main reason was I couldn't justify buying it at that time, because I had just quit my job to focus on film and writing stuff. So I wasn't earning any money. I was just trying to do as much creative stuff as I could. So to me, it wasn't just buying the shoe. It was also paying for the travel, all this. Like, when I could have that exact amount and live a bit better until I get another job.
Listen, I offered you as a gift. I literally, for you, I would have bought it for you straight up, and I would have I knew. I don't know if you would have worn it, but you could have it as a display.
I would have worn it.
Okay.
I guarantee you, I would have worn it. Like, you know what I'm like. Those Simpsons shoes that I showed in episode 3, showed, I say now, but I've talked about. They're worth more than they are now when I bought them. And I would have no intention of keeping it and trying to sell it.
Okay. I don't know if you recall what it looked like.
I liked the way it looked.
Yeah, do you like the way it looked?
Yeah, I 100% can't remember. I remember liking the way it looked, and I was definitely going to wear them.
Okay.
Definitely going to wear them.
Yeah, okay, from what you remember, right? Yeah, I know we removed the shoe review, but out of 10, Muno out of 10 for the shoe, for the Spider. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's like Origin of the Year. Origins or something like that.
So it doesn't beat the Simpsons. It doesn't beat the Simpsons ones. Obviously, you're gonna have a different take because you like that. But for me, the Simpsons, having all the Simpsons characters is a lot better. If it had all the Marvel characters, maybe. But I would give it like 8 out of 10.
That's pretty good. I would say yes to that. I would agree.
There are other Jordan ones that I've seen and I don't like, and that one was one that I did like. I sort of do wish I had it.
Yeah.
But I'm not that fussed.
Yeah, of course.
I haven't won a competition like that since, but
you haven't been entering. That's fine.
Yeah, and it was my first ever competition.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't regret not getting them.
Cool.
Obviously, you did. I know you did offer to buy, but it was just I couldn't justify it. I couldn't justify doing that, especially since I had little money anyway.
True.
To me, it was like buying a diamond when you're broke. It's just there's no point.
Yeah, but diamond will go up in value.
To me, I'll probably end up eating a diamond. I'll find something to ruin the diamond. I don't know what, but yeah. So anyway, I think this is probably our longest episode yet.
Yep.
From the timer, I can see we're nearing 40 minutes, and this is while we're recording. There's no jingles or anything. So. Yeah. We appreciate everyone following us on our platforms, Instagram, Twitter, and everything. It'd be great if you give us ratings on Spotify, which we're on. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're trying to get onto more platforms, which it just takes time. Hopefully by the time this one releases, we'll be on a lot more platforms.
Yeah. Criticisms would also be helpful to help us mold what the podcast will have. Yeah, I think it also guides us on what we should do and what we shouldn't. So yeah, it'll be very good.
If you guys think we talk too fast or we do something like maybe we talk way too long on a topic that doesn't matter. Just let us know. I know that we ramble quite a bit, but it's just because we're talking to each other.
Yeah, that's what we like. That's what this is for.
But thank you for everyone that's listening. Obviously, at the time of recording, we didn't have a massive fan base. We're not expecting a massive fan base just yet, but it'd be good to have interactions from people. So yeah, give us likes, comments, anything will do. As we mentioned earlier, we had a few outtakes. If we get enough people asking for outtakes, we will put them on as separate bonus episodes. We obviously the first 4 episodes we recorded on film. We could still upload those if people wanted them to onto YouTube. It just won't be the same audio quality. The camera quality is going to be pristine because it's one of my cameras, but the audio won't be as great.
And it's also going to be in like weird segments.
But yeah, if we get enough people saying we want them, then we'll find a way to do it.
Yeah, definitely.
And thank you.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant.
All right. See you guys.